Hey everyone, there's been some absolutely crazy sales in Victoria's market recently, and I want to share a few examples with you today. First off, a 10-year-old condo with nice views and a parking spot in downtown Victoria sold for under $450,000. For context, that's the price they were selling for way back in 2018. On the flip side, this home on the Gorge received four offers and sold 100K over ask, and this 1980s home in Cordova Bay sold almost $400,000 over ask and $700,000 over the assessed value. It's really a tale of two worlds right now in Victoria's real estate market. So, back in 2015, selling two condos could get you a detached home. Today, you'd need 2.2 condos to try and make the same move. That's a 10% loss in buying power for anyone who's trying to climb the property ladder from a condo to a detached home. Now, not all condo segments are this bad, but downtown Victoria is certainly taking the brunt of it. In this video, I want to focus on just why the downtown market is doing so poorly and when or if it will recover. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to take a quick look at the numbers throughout the region, and then we'll dive in and see exactly what's happening downtown. Looking at detached home sales, multiple offers from Saanich to the Peninsula to Colwood, you name it, in that $1 to $1.3 million range, particularly if it's well priced and also particularly if it has a rental suite. Oak Bay continues to be in demand for anything under $2 million, maybe a little slower above that, but the Oak Bay demand is still there and so is the luxury market. Overall, median home prices are up almost 2% from last year and flat month to month. Townhome pricing is strong and up for the month and the year. It does seem for newer townhomes that maybe we've hit peak pricing based on the amount of inventory available. There's over 25 newer townhomes under $1.2 million in Saanich right now on MLS. Over the next few years, we're going to see a lot more stacked townhomes, multiplex units, and more variety in this segment, since the only thing that makes sense for small and mid-sized developers to build, single-family spec homes are a thing of the past. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this, if you've lived in one of these stacked townhome developments and how you liked it. I think they have a lot of potential, but the floor plan and the build quality really has to be dialed in since there's so many shared walls and so many residents in a relatively small area. New townhomes and new construction in general is getting a nice little boost in sales for the new GST exemption for first-time homebuyers as well. And condos is performing the worst. Median prices are down for the month and the year. Overall, it's not too bad though if you compare it nationwide to a market like Toronto, which is collapsing completely. But there's a lot of deals to be had for sure right now in Victoria, and it's good news for condo buyers right now. Lots of distressed sellers who paid peak 2021 and 2022 pricing, just lots of inventory to choose from. Speaking of inventory levels are climbing up 10% month over month and 10% from this time last year. There's just a good selection across the board for buyers right now, but it's still very competitive for those well-priced detached homes. Victoria has been in the news a lot lately, but not in a good way. A recent Globe and Mail article describing the state of the 900 block of Pandora has gone viral and is capturing a lot of attention. They call this street the epicenter of a national opioid crisis. The city has spent $25 million over the last 2 years, and there's not a lot to show for it if you've driven down Pandora lately. With no end in sight, the safety, the crime, and the drug problem are, in my opinion, the single biggest factors of why downtown Victoria has become less and less appealing to live in, and why the downtown Victoria real estate market is just doing so poorly compared to everything else. It's no coincidence that that condo that sold for under $450,000 was also in one of those formerly transient zone short-term rental buildings. It appears the new policy has been successful in lowering prices of these particular condos, but I don't think the blow to downtown Victoria's economy was worth it. Hotel prices are more expensive than ever, and I don't think we're attracting the right kind of visitors anymore because of that. The ban has made visiting and working in Victoria prohibitively expensive for families, people in need of temporary accommodation, any kind of transient workers like those in the film or television industry. There's a lot of valid reasons for someone to want to stay in a condo for a few weeks or months, and we need those people back. I've personally had traveling nurses and healthcare workers reach out to me in frustration because they simply cannot find a place to rent for a month anymore. Interestingly enough, though, Victoria Council approved adding two more stories to the new hotel on Broad Street, which will feature exactly the suite style rooms that they took away with the Airbnb ban. We had lots of other options to address short term rentals, such as more taxes, more regulation, more licensing requirements, without the abrupt shock to downtown by eliminating all that economic diversity. We've already seen EB easing up on his language, and some communities like Tofino are trying to opt out of the ban because they've reached these same conclusions as well. The BCREA released this statement in response to slowing tourism in the Okanagan due to lack of accommodations as well. Finally, there's a lot of rental inventory coming online and in the pipeline. There's over 7,500 units of purpose built rentals under construction. If you're looking for a shoebox rental from a big corporation, you'll have a lot to choose from. Not many individual condo investors anymore. It just doesn't make the numbers just don't make sense now. But big corporations are building like crazy. I hope we end up with a city that's more interesting than this massive corporate owned rental towers, but we'll see. It does look like the rental market is softening a bit. Rental stats are always tricky to find, but I thought this thread on Reddit that I saw recently was super interesting. A lot of renters chimed in on this thread, and it shows that there's more selection and that they're able to negotiate a bit harder on the prices. So, all in all, some signs that the rental market is cooling. I know downtown Victoria will recover. It's BC's capital city. It's got way too much going for it, and it's such a beautiful place. It's always going to be one of the top tourist destinations as well. I also think condo prices will bounce back as these rental towers won't suit everyone, and people will always want to own their own homes. Let me know what you think and what you're experiencing, maybe if you're living downtown. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.